Welcome back. You're watching the Power Breakfast Show. Now, this morning, we want to focus on men's fashion. It is said that men don't know how to dress, especially Kenyan men. And we want to see whether that is true or false. And we want to try and figure out what would work for you as a man out there, what won't work for you. So, 22422 is the SMS line. Should you have any questions, comments, or suggestions? And remember, you can get us on Twitter. The hashtag is Power Breakfast. This morning, the person who will be explaining all that to us is a man who's considered a bit harsh, a bit mean, but we'll try and soften him up here. It's none other than Robert Burale, an image consultant. A very good morning to you, Robert.
Morning.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you. It's good to have you.
And I think the first question we should try and answer is, do you think Kenyan men don't know how to dress?
Okay, you told me to be a bit soft.
No.
But the truth of the matter is we are too casual in our dressing. We don't put too much effort. We play safe, and when you play safe, you go wrong. Okay,
two questions arise from that. The first one is, do you think that is because it is considered that men's clothing is very expensive?
It isn't at all.
It is for the common person. When you walk into a reputable store, a pair of shoes will cost you 12,000 shillings, compared to a lady who will be able to get maybe 3 pairs on that 12,000 shillings.
Okay. Sometimes I think it's perception. That's why I usually say the most expensively dressed people live in Runda or Karen, but the best dressed live in Eastlands, and they're known. Maybe they're not the highest earning bracket in this country. When it comes to men's shoes, I think a shoe that is 10,000 and above is a shoe that will last long, as opposed to buying a shoe for 1,200 and you buy 6 pairs in 1 year. You'd rather buy one quality shoe. But having said that, we also have some shoes that are not very expensive, but good. So you don't have to dress expensive. You can just dress well.
The issue of working an 8 to 5, expected to wear a suit. We know suits are not the cheapest things as well, you know, and that's why I think you'll come across very many guys doing a broken suit.
Right.
Or not really, okay, no, not a broken suit. A mismatched suit, just because it's a blue pair of pants that will put on a blue blazer. In that instance, because I'm assuming a good suit will cost anything from 20,000 up.
Yes.
Yeah. How then should we handle that scenario? And especially you're a corporate person, corporate gentleman working 8 to 5, and you're expected to look the part, but really your budget is not allowing you. And let's start with an intern. You know, how would you advise that person?
Well, of course, when you go to the corporate world, you must dress the part.
Yes.
And that is where some men go wrong and go with the wrong color. For example, if you go with a black suit, all you need to do is have 3-4 shirts. A man can get away with a dark-colored suit, whereby you can have it 3 times a week, but changing the shirt and tie.
So that's the secret.
That is the secret. But when you go for a loud blue suit, you wear it twice in a week, everybody will notice that. Yeah, so it's safer. If your finances don't allow, please go for the dark colored suit.
Buy one suit, one black suit.
One black suit, one grey.
Okay, one.
Yes, but a man should generally have about 7 suits. Generally, 7 suits, and you're good. You just keep on changing the shirts and the shoes. And remember, the shoes must go with the belt.
Yes, and the watch.
And the watch, yeah. Okay. A man is made by the shoes, belt, and watch.
It's a lot of pressure. It
is, but we have to keep up.
Keeps to the men.
You are dressed by the way you are dressed.
True.
Yes.
Let's speak about shirts and ties when it comes to the workplace. There's a lot of confusion in regard to that. Because it is said when you wear a striped shirt, you cannot wear your tie has to be plain. When your ties, or when your shirt is colored, your tie has to be plain. But when I look at you, it's a completely different ballgame altogether, which I like, where you have a striped shirt and your tie also has a few things going on. So what is the standard rule of wearing a shirt and a tie for a gentleman?
Well, what you've said is common belief. Then again, that's playing too safe. When you go for a job interview, for example, then that's how you should go. You can't be too risque. because then it takes attention away from what you're presenting, and then it brings it to your dressing. But when it comes to a normal working day, there's no problem in pushing the envelope. I have a striped shirt with, as you said, a lot going on with my tie. It brings out your personality, meaning you're confident to wear like that. There's someone else who will see me and say I have dressed like a chameleon. But for me, it's because I know it's not the clothes that make the man, but the man makes the clothes. Man that makes the clothes. Yeah.
We've talked about, you know, the shoe, the watch, the belt. How long should a man's trouser be?
Right. If you're standing straight and we are seeing your socks, there's a problem. That's Billie Jean, Michael Jackson kind of thing. If you're sitting, then we have to see your socks. If we don't see your socks while you're sitting, then the trouser is too long. So the trouser should almost try to kiss the top of your sole.
Yes, should be right above your sole.
Yes, just above your sole. Then when you're walking, it is okay. When you're seated, then we see your socks. But if you can see your socks when you're not...
Just how we're seeing your socks there?
Yes.
So that's decent.
Exactly.
Would you please stand, if you don't mind?
So if I stand, you will not see my socks.
Okay.
But if we stand...
Face this side, so people can see what exactly you're saying, that it should be at the tip of...
Yes. It shouldn't touch the ground. Then what happens, the trouser after about 2 weeks, it starts losing its texture,
yes,
and it starts tearing up.
Yes.
And so the idea is a man should not... We should not be able to see your socks if you're standing. We should be able to see your socks when you're seated.
Okay, and we'll come to socks in a few. I want us to come back to the blazer.
Right.
In 2016, we're still seeing a lot of gentlemen wearing blazers that still have the tags. Please tell us, is it right or wrong? And you know, the tag that comes here, the brand name.
Right.
Should it be on or should it be off?
First of all, if you buy the suit and it has a tag, the first thing you need to do is remove the tag.
Remove the tag.
If you don't remove the tag, you're trying to tell us you're very expensively dressed, Giorgio Armani,
yes,
and maybe it's Parmani, you know. And another secret is, if you want to know the suit is original, the tag should be easily removable. If you find yourself struggling to remove it, there's a problem with the originality of that. So you should not walk around with a tag. It actually makes you look a bit confused. Not a bit, very confused.
Very confused.
So remove the tag.
Okay.
ASAP.
There's the issue of collars again when it comes to gentlemen.
Yes.
You know, we see a lot of men walking in town with their collars over their jacket collars, and yet you're wearing it inside. Explain to us.
I don't agree with putting your jacket or your collar over your jacket. It's very outdated. It makes you look much older than you actually are. Even the old people of advanced age, don't necessarily need to do that. I know I have seen some politicians doing that. They call it, maybe that's their brand, but sometimes your brand could be wrong. So let the collar be where it's supposed to be, and have your tie, because when you have it out, you look like you don't know what's going on really. So the collar should never be on top of the jacket.
Let's go back to the suits.
Right.
I have an issue with the color of suits I see men walking in. So how should I go about choosing a suit for my skin tone? Because sometimes I feel like guys just go and pick, you know, a suit. I've seen a guy who is light skin wearing a suit with color. That does not complement their skin. So what's the rule of thumb when it comes to getting suits?
The problem with that, first and foremost, is if you see a suit looking good on a dark colored person and you're light, you want to go for it. Remember, another man's meat is another man's poison. So if you're dark-skinned like me, you want to go for the brighter colors. Otherwise, I'll get lost in translation. So beige is good for me. If you're light-skinned, you want to go for the dark-colored suit. Definitely dark-colored suit. But you can get a bit risque with your tie. But what dominates your dressing must go with your skin tonation. Okay. Yes.
And let's look at some pictures we have there, if they can put on a screen.
Yes.
So that's a guy in a fitting suit.
Right.
Right. And close to, say, what is it called?
Bottoneer.
Okay.
Yes.
So there's that, looking really dapper. Of course, that's a functional suit, meaning that he's going out for a function.
Right.
But then the question comes then, when should I wear, or where should a man wear a fitting suit, a tailor-made suit? You know, because not everyone is as tall and lanky as you, or as built as that guy.
Yes, I think what we need to understand, when you say fitting suits, it doesn't mean tight clothing.
No, it doesn't.
Now, fitting suits is usually known as also a slim fit, meaning slim is the key word.
Slim fit.
Yes. Slim is the key word. You can't be big boned and you wear a slim fitting suit. It will make you look a bit confused. So fitting suits you can wear even when you go to work in the corporate place, and that's where we are going right now. But if you're maybe from on the larger side of your body, you don't have to wear what they call a fitting suit, but your cut must be right. And how do you know the cut is right? When you look at the shoulder, the shoulder part is not dropping or is not too close to your neck, then it fits you well.
Let's go back to that picture if we can. Yeah, there.
If you look at the shoulder, right, it's right. And then when you look at the folded, when you go to a good tailor, when they take your measurements for your arm, they will take it when it's straight, and they will tell you to fold it, and they take the measurements from the elbow coming down to your fingers. It means then, if you see what he has done, when you fold your arm, the shirt pops out.
Is that correct? Is that
it is very, very correct. And that's when now when you have good cufflinks, when you do that, the coupling pops out. Now you see, now you don't kind of thing. So when you have a suit that when you fold your arm, it's still covering almost to your fingers, then that's an oversized suit.
I get you.
Right.
All right. You said something earlier about Kenyan men playing it safe.
Yes.
And I agree, but then it's the nature of the people.
Is it really?
It's the nature of the
Tanzanians are known to be more relaxed than us, more laid back, but they're dressing now, they're up their game. You really need to move on with the sign of times, because you're dressing before you open your mouth. You have to capture me with your image. It's what we call the non-verbal expression. So when you walk into a place and you are playing too safe, you're the kind of person who can get lost in a crowd of two people.
Well, let me argue from a man's point of view and say, fine, I've walked into a law firm and I'm wearing that blazer that you're wearing. It's not going to work.
No,
I mean,
this will not work.
And most corporate settings, knowing the people who are at the top, the board of directors, they will look at you and be like, why are you so overbearing? You know, for the longest, Sir Charles Jonjo was considered, very outspoken because he put on a pinstripe suit. You know, so you can imagine a man is also thinking of what society thinks of him. You don't want to be thought of being obnoxious. You don't want to be thought of being self-centered, or too metrosexual, as it's said nowadays.
For the corporate setting, you're safe with black, blue, and grey. For the corporate setting. You can. We've seen also people going with happy socks and all that. Happy socks are good, but there's a limit to where you're going to do your happy socks. If you're going to go for
We're going to get to that because someone has just sent a text and said that what you brought it up. Burale is wrongly matched. Belt matches with shoes. Socks should always match the trousers. Period. Your thoughts? Because you're wearing happy socks, and happy socks is a new outfit, if I can call it, or a new brand of socks that are just happy, different colors, different designs, and have become very famous. We're seeing quite a number of people wearing them, and that was going to be my next question. At what point do you wear happy socks?
First, let me just address the gentleman and understand his concern. But if you look at my socks, I have something that almost matches my shoe, and if you look at the blue part, that matches my coat. So I have played. He
says the belt matches with shoes.
A must.
Socks should always match the trousers.
Not always when you're doing happy socks.
Not when you're doing happy
because if you're going to do happy socks could a pair of happy socks could have 10 different colors. So are you going to have a multicolored coat, trouser? No. But what you said is very, very serious, because when you go for a job interview, you cannot do happy socks. Absolutely not.
Then you're limiting yourself. I mean,
you want the job. They look at such things. Get into the job first, then maybe you can play around after your probation is over. But when you go for a job interview, let's do blue, let's do black. As you said, don't be too over the top.
Now you see, you're confusing us. You say 1 minute we're safe, and here we are trying to expand.
For a job interview, job interview, they're very detailed. This is what we want, and that's why even when you go for a job interview, your appointment, sometimes you should ask what is expected of me. You can go with such a coat. You can go with a pink coat for a job interview, and that is why only black, silver, and grey for the men. Nothing other than that.
I want to stick another picture there. There's one in with a man in a green suit. Of course, there's that one in shorts, and that's very casual, right? And that's, what do you call that? Because that's not a suit. It's not a full suit. What do you call it?
Well, it's a suit, a short suit, really.
A short suit. Who should wear that?
If you have the right legs.
How do you know whether you have the right legs?
I mean, some people...
You're waiting for a girl to tell you...
No. If you stand with the man in the mirror, there are people who know... Well, I know I have a big nose. Mine is... I can smell Vision 2030, you know?
Good one.
What am I saying is... if you have very hairy legs, very hairy, a bit of... you cannot do that. And another thing is that if you have a public opinion, which means is a tummy, then you cannot also do those. Because when the tummy starts coming on top of your belt, and it makes you look a bit... disproportionate.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is for the slender kind of person, and absolutely confident. To leave your house like that, you really must know who you are.
Why am I going to dress like that? Or where is a man going to dress like that?
You can go for a function like that.
What function?
Not a red carpet
What function?
You can go for a dinner like that. You know, when it's a themed dinner, maybe corporate themed dinner, you can do that. But not for an award ceremony, not for a red carpet, no. But
not
this is
for a wedding?
No, a wedding you can actually do that.
A destination wedding, maybe?
Yes, you can do that very well. I know it would take attention away from the main couple, but yes, as I say, the person who dressed like this is a person whose personality is over the top. What
shoes should I wear with that? Or should a man wear with that? Sorry.
Remember, no socks when you wear shorts. Such kind of outfit. You can do loafers, not leather shoes. If you do leather shoes, you must do wet look. Shoeless ones. Yeah, but loafers would do well. Okay. Not sandals at all.
All right, interesting.
Yes. Yeah.
There's another picture I'm looking for, a man in a green suit, guys, if you can see it. A man in a green suit, very overbearing. I mean, if Robert had put on blue pants, then he'd look like that guy. You'd be like that guy, you know. That's very, very outspoken. That's very, very West African. That's very Sapua-looking gentleman.
Yes.
Does that have space in the Kenyan scene?
It doesn't, but I think it should. You know, he's actually a Nigerian, I think, musician.
Yes.
This is what I call pushing the envelope. This is when you walk into a place, people don't know what to say, but they notice you. And if Kenyan men can go to this direction, and that's a problem. I sit with some friends of mine, and they say, how comes the West African comes and they take all the attention from the ladies? I tell you what, before I know you have a good personality, something else must attract me towards you. And not over the top, but if you see what he has done, he has gone plain with the shirt and plain with the tie, because the suit on its own is very, very loud. So I think Kenyan men should try that. Even if you look at the cut, it's not the normal.
But where is a Kenyan man wearing that to? Thinking about, very few of them attend award ceremonies. Very few of them attend corporate dinners, you know. If
you go for a wedding, you can go like this. But I see Kenyan men going in T-shirts for a wedding.
Which is wrong anyway.
Absolutely wrong, in jeans and rubber shoes, because you're easy, because you want to be, you know, when there's time for nyama choma, you eat without holding back. You know, when you dress like this, then even everything around you, how you hold the fork, how you hold the knife must be a bit bourgeoisie. But the fact that we like being easy, that's why when we call for functions in open air places, Kenyan men go because they love it, because you can dress in jeans and rubber shoes. But when you call people for such a function, many Kenyan men would fear dressing like this. But this is where I believe we need to go to. The Sapua look is very, very important, because it talks about your inner confidence. How you dress is a manifestation of who you are on the inside. Otherwise, if you dress funny, you will walk like an apology. Yeah.
Okay.
Look at even how he's standing. He knows. He knows he's got it going on.
I think it's because he's built. I think it's because he's built.
Yeah.
There's a guy in ragged jeans, torn jeans. I don't just talk about that, it being a casual wear. We're seeing a lot of ripped jeans making back. You know, your take on that?
He should be in a prison. You simply cannot go dressing like this, because first and foremost, it looks like something has been eating your jeans. But unfortunately, when I see people in America coming up, Kanye West, with some outfits that look a bit very, very distressed,
and cost an arm and a leg.
Yes, if you see a man dressed like this, you either give him a hug and tell him God loves you.
It shall be
because
well.
Yes, this is someone who really does not understand what it's all about. You're trying to get attention, because if you meet someone dressed like this, your attention will be on his skin. Really, and that shows a person who, when you seek too much attention, it means you have some emptiness going on inside you. Dressing says a lot about someone. Dressing.
Yes. There's one I want us to pick before we move on, that of Idris Elba.
Yes.
I don't know if the gentlemen up there know who Idris Elba is. They could be wondering, who's that? Who's Idris Elba? If you can get it, well and good. But there's one which I really like, and I would want to show the Kenyan men that look, where he's in a suit, you know, a three-piece suit, if I'm not wrong,
Right, right there, yes.
and he has a turtleneck on.
Yes.
At what point should a man wear a turtleneck?
First
Of course, when it's winter.
Yes,
when it's
it's winter, or even an evening function where it's in a nice restaurant where there's good AC,
okay,
a nice hotel. This kind of dressing you'd see for every one man in every 100,000 Kenyan men. But this is a good look. But let me put this across, is that if you have a belly, avoid turtlenecks. Okay. You know, and as you can see, even his sitting position tells you he does his gym very, very well.
Yes.
And it's a checked coat. So, and play around with colors. Most men who play safe would have gone with a black turtleneck. Yeah, but
that's pink. That's pink, yes. Peach, something. That's not for men.
No, you can wear pink as long as you're not pink on the inside. If you wear pink like that, I think it's fine. Okay. But don't be too feminine.
Okay.
You see, the suit itself is so masculine. Okay. And if that guy walks in here with that kind of outfit, will you not notice him and appreciate his suit?
So true. I would. Okay. The last one, if I'm not wrong, is of Pharrell Williams. Really laid back look. I'm assuming, is this the one exception to a wedding?
You can dress like this for a wedding.
Yeah.
With the jeans.
Yes.
But when you do the jeans with this kind of outfit, the jeans cannot be too busy. You know, with too many big writings. No. It has to be a straight jeans, well-fitting, not baggy. And then this look you can pull. You can imagine if the pocket at the back had number 69 written, you know, and it takes away a lot. This you can even dress on a Friday, dress down Friday in a corporate setting.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
And also you must have the right body.
And not to put in a lot of pressure, because I saw Mutagin Jao here earlier, and I know he can say, I'm not wear that to a wedding. This is more appropriate for the older man to a wedding.
Yes, right? This is good. This is casual. It's easy. It makes you relaxed as well.
Okay,
yes.
Okay. Yeah. But then we're also seeing a lot of Kenyan men running towards this.
Because it's safe.
Because it
is very, very safe to dress like that.
Okay.
Very few would dress.
And that's what we're coming up to next.
Right.
An orange trench coat for a man, a Kenyan man. Isn't that too dramatic? I'm
Kenyan. I'm Luya. This is mine.
Oh, you're special. You're special. Let's leave it at that.
This is good as long as the trouser tones it down. You can do black. You can do white. But if you do pink and pink, there's a problem.
There's a problem.
When you're bright on the top, tone it down with something at the bottom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
This other one, I really like the color. Let's talk about the kerchief, the pocket square, right? I noticed it's a different color there.
Yes.
And even yours is a different color. And the rule of thumb for many has been it should be the same color as your tie.
Yes.
Demystify for us that.
That is just common belief, but it's not necessarily a rule. Your pocket chief, gone are the days where your pocket chief must go with your tie. You know, the same cut, you buy the tie with the pocket chief. No. You can go totally different, nothing wrong at all. You can play around with it because the tie can complement your shirt, or your pocket chief can complement your coat or something else.
Let's be very careful when we say you can go with any color, because I'm trying to see some guy in maybe a green jacket, and then he goes and picks up a red. You know. No, yeah, there must be boundaries of acceptability as well. And if you can see this yellow pocket chief and look at the boutonniere, which is pink, there's also a bit of yellow there, but in a different shade. So you're thinking outside the box, but don't go too far away from the box. You might need to go back and consult. Yeah. Someone says this man is not correct, yet he wants to correct us. He has crowded his coat. And two people have actually said Burale's jacket is too busy.
That's my personality. And if you realize the coat inside tones it down, I have a black trouser. When you wear black, it nullifies some stuff. It's like when you put on some light and there's darkness that comes in, the light will not be as bright. And that is, I appreciate what they're saying, but it's coming from a place of a reserved, typical Kenyan
person.
Yes.
Let's speak about innerwear, and mostly vests, because I think that's one thing Kenyan men don't know how to work around.
Yes.
The issue, first, should it be a white vest or a black vest?
White vest.
White vest.
Must be a white vest.
Okay.
And when you wear a vest, the shirt cannot be see-through. Because then, if you remove your coat and we're seeing your vest, then there is a problem. It has to be a fitting vest. Because when you have an oversized vest, when you remove your jacket, the gathers on your waist becomes a bit, it's sore to the eyes. So you cannot do that. What is the purpose for a vest? It also absorbs your sweat. Because sometimes you're sweating so much and you've no vest and it sticks on your shirt, it looks a bit annoying. And also the undergarment for men, especially for the men who deal in what we call fitting suits. Remember, wearing a fitting suit is not an excuse to wear tight clothing. So when you wear a fitting suit, your inner garment must also fit you well, as opposed to you walking around and we are seeing things that you're not supposed to see.
Yeah.
So it must hold you very well. But when you get home in the evening, you can wear your boxers. Because when you wear a very tight inner garment for 24 hours, it affects your productivity later in life.
Yes, and that's what someone has asked.
Yes.
Okay, wait, I've lost that text. But someone just whispered in the what about T-shirts? T-shirts inside my shirt.
Oh, gosh, you cannot do that. And then you wear a T-shirt that is printed, written Beyond Waldagat Safari Rally 1989, and then you remove, then we can almost see what is inside. That is wrong. You
said something about the shirt being, and the word has escaped me, but not see-through.
It can't be see-through.
How do you go about ensuring that the shirt you buy is not see-through?
Simple. The texture of the material. When you buy it, and that's why when you buy, you see someone putting the inner part of the shirt on top of their hands, and then you take it towards the window. If you can see, then there's a problem.
Someone here has a very interesting question. I have old-fashioned suit bell-bottom and platform shoes, and I've been unable to put them on because I fear that people will be staring at me on the streets. What is your advice? This is Joe Dundo, one of our faithful viewers. Yes, from Lucky Sama.
Yes, Dundo, just be you. You understand? Because if you worry about what people will say, you will dress in some things that are not as long as you're comfortable. I can wear a pink coat, but I know 9 out of 10 men will tell me I'm cookies. But it's because I know, I feel comfortable within my own skin that you work it. So if you have those bottom things and whatever, put them on and walk without fear.
Walk in confidence.
Yeah. Walk like a principality.
Yes. The issue of watches.
Yes.
There are different categories of watches. First, how many watches should just a man have? 4. Why 4?
4 is safe because you don't, there's some watches that you wear, like leather straps, some of them for casual. Then we have some nice gold, silver that you can wear with a suit. For example, if you have a well-cut suit with very nice diamond or shiny cufflinks, then let the watch complement that. So when you're walking, when you see the cufflinks, it shines upon someone, and before they realize, the watch also gives you another one. So it's really, it has to be very well coordinated. You must make a statement. I like saying this: you cannot leave the house and you want to look good, and then you're not remembered 3 minutes later. Yes.
Okay.
For either reason. And when you dress well, remember, if everybody's praising your dressing, there's a problem. Some people might say you're over the top. Some might say you're too laid back. You must push the envelope. There's a thin line, but you must stand on the line. Okay. Yeah. So leather straps are more for casual wear? Yes, but we have some that you can wear with suits. Okay. Yes. Okay, it's up to you to look at the watch and see. But preferably metal straps for official wear. And especially if you have the right cuffling. Yes. Yes, cufflings are also very key. Cufflinks. Not the funny gold-plated ones. After 2 days, it's gold and black. It's also confused. It can mess you up. Yeah. Yes. How do you go about choosing cufflinks? Basically, it's with the kind of suits that you have. I would not advise someone to buy red cufflinks and you're wearing a black suit. Okay. No, I would advise you to wear a nice shiny goldish or silver. Silver is very good in a white, crisp white shirt. A crisp white shirt brings out the elegance of a cuffling. Okay. And the cuffling is appreciated when you have the right cut of your coat. Yes. Otherwise, if it's too long, we will not know there were cufflings there. Know. And that helps. And speaking of cufflinks and excuse me, and men's dressing, trends are a big thing, right? We'll see Kanye West, excuse me, in ragged jeans. We'll see him the next day wearing something different, and really those are the trendsetters. And then you find that a young man here in Nairobi idolizes
You know, there he is, Kanye, idolizes Kanye and says, well, if he's dressed like that, why shouldn't I dress like that? How, or rather, what would you tell such a person who wants to make a statement, but is doing it through trends and it's not necessarily working for them? That is where identity comes through. Identity. Your dressing must go with your own identity. Now, if Kanye West wears a torn jacket at the back and it's $50,000, then you go home, take a scissors, and then cut your, because Kanye West, it's total lack of identity. The moment you're comfortable in your skin, even for me, if someone looks up to me, I have some young men who look up to me in my dressing, if this is not what they would go for, they shouldn't go for it because Robert has it. Be your own person, but also look up to people and maybe look at how they dress, not necessarily copy how they dress. If you like my coat, the cutting of the coat, but you want black, just cut it well, but do black. But you cannot be light-skinned and wear this color because Robert wore this color. I am dark as they come. So don't follow people blindly. You can borrow from them, but just borrow what you'll bring to your own identity. Very, very important. That's why I see young women trying to dress like Beyonce. Beyonce has hips that don't lie. True. Some people are so straight and you're trying to pull off a Beyonce, and then you get depressed because you don't look like Beyonce. Just wake up and smell the coffee. Be yourself. There's somebody who asks, this is Philip Alambo from Comoro, what's your take on wearing Timberland shoes with fitting suits? Is it okay? I've seen people do that. Timberland shoes with fitting suits? That's an absolute no-no. But, excuse me, Robert, there are certain boots a man can wear with a suit, right? Absolutely. Okay, let's talk about that. They're not the cowboy boots, but they have kind of been born from the cowboy boots. But you can't have those Timberland that have those big shoelaces and you tie them to up here and you have a fitting suit. It just doesn't go well. It's just like wearing a Giorgio Armani suit with rubber shoes. It doesn't go well. You know, when you say, well, some things look good on their own, but when you bring them together, it doesn't look good. Akin to playing loud music in a Mercedes-Benz. You cannot do that. You cannot do that. I'm Brian from Nyeri. For starters, I don't like suits, but from today's show, I'm getting the hang of it. How do I do it since I like black and white? Black and white. Black and white is okay, but also try and play with the shirts, because when you do black and white, it's too common. You can try, obviously from what he said, is he will not go pink, he will not, but you can do blue, a darker shade of blue, and play with the tie. Don't just do white. I know you're conservative from what you said, black and white. Go for blue, go for a light brown, and then you'll be safe. Or a light pink. Or light pink. But pink, many guys fear. A light pink, light. You know, when men hear pink, they just want to run. Gosh. Unfortunately. You'll never grow. You'll never grow. All right. Someone else. Which is which with watches for a man? Do you wear it on the right hand or left hand? Left. Yes. But what if I'm a left hand? You can do right. Okay. Yes. Okay. Boxers or V-shaped underwear? That's the question from a viewer. It depends on your suit. You cannot wear a fitting suit and wear boxers, the loose fitting boxers, because then you'll be very, very uncomfortable. There's a problem. When you're wearing fitting suits, especially if you're a public speaker, when you're going to stand in front of people, if you're a preacher man, if you're a CEO going to speak, your inner garment must be tight, that holds your strongholds properly. And for a man, what you need to understand, you wear fitting inner garments and you make sure, I know this is too early in the morning, your strongholds must always be in your left. Then it means then everything will be covered up well. Okay. Yes. All right. Well, thank you very much, Robert, for joining us this morning. A lot of people, I'll be honest, are still very reserved. Still have a problem with your dressing, saying you're very flashy, you're very out there. But like I should have come in pink jacket here. Yeah, that's a different story altogether for a Tuesday morning. But I want to say thank you very much for giving us those tidbits. I'm hoping the gentlemen have been able to take one or two things. And I think that the key is start slow. Don't be too dramatic. Don't be dramatic, slow, right? Start with the pink. Even if you think it's a girly color. And the one thing you must tell the gentlemen, it's not expensive to dress well. We have designers, Nick Ondu, Frank CLL. They do very well cut suits, and it's easy in your pocket. If you don't want tailor-made suits, we have actually shops even on Gong Road, Buttons.
I buy some of my clothes there. They're actually not very expensive. To look good, you just have to have the right color coordination and dress your body well. If you're a short person, don't wear a pinstripe suit.
Can I tell you something? Not expensive is relative to many.
It is, yes.
Relative to many.
But when you see how Kenyans spend, call them for a function. Oh, they will spend even 10,000 on alcohol, for example. And yet even 15,000, you can get a very well tailor-made suit.
True.
It's perception.
I agree.
Yes.
Thank you very much for joining us. We'll now hand you over to Lumumba and Austin to take us to the top of the hour. Robert, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you so much for having me.
And we'll invite you the next time.
I'll be glad to come.
All right.
Thank you.